Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the deception that narcissists play into to create confusion. I mean, you've ever been with someone and you think that everything's going fine, or you think that everything's okay between you, but then you find out that things are not what they appear to be because the narcissist is creating these separate illusions behind your back. Yeah, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about how you could probably figure out if your friends or your boss or your coworker or someone around you is deceiving you. Let's get into this. So, narcissists like to keep their targets in one state of mind, like this illusion, right? And they prop you up into this illusion. Let's just say maybe making you think that everything between you, between the two of you, are in sync, right? If you have a narcissistic partner or a narcissistic friend and you think that you're best friends and you think that everything's okay, and what you share with that person is actually being kept confidential, and you're keeping things confidential with them, right? I've found that in my life, for a while I used to think that maybe I was rude. I started to believe that I was rude, and there were things about me that were a little bit too overt, for lack of better words. Like I'm just out there. I basically tell you how I feel, but usually when I do this, the purpose is to try to keep clarity, right? I'm a promoter of clarity. I support clarity. I don't want there to be, excuse the background noise, as you guys know I'm in New York City. I don't want there to be any doubt in your mind about how I feel, because if you don't know how I feel, then we can't resolve it, right? And this is before I realized that there were narcissistic people who actually operate in reverse because they thrive in confusion and chaos, and so they're very deceitful so they could be able to hold up this chaos, because seeing everyone else caught up in chaos actually helps the narcissist hold him or herself up to this higher standard, being better than everyone else, because they already think that they're better and more superior, and so they get everyone bickering and confused and doubting. But they do this behind the scene. So for example, you might have, let's say you think you're really cool with your neighbor, right? And you guys, when you see one another, you chat it out, you have a talk. But then you find out from another neighbor that this neighbor is like, I don't know what's up with that woman. She goes in her house and she's stomping up and down in those shoes. It gets on my nerves that she's stomping around in those shoes. Meanwhile, you're thinking, when this person tells you, you're probably thinking, wow, I talk to her all the time, or him all the time. Why wouldn't this person just tell me that my shoes were, bothering them, or maybe ask and try to find out if there was something going on that day, because this is not the normal behavior. But the reason narcissists do this, instead of this person just telling you what it is that you did that bothered them, they rather shame you to another person, right? Because narcissists are always looking for supply. So they actually get narcissistic supply by tearing down your character, or saying something about you that takes away from this idea that you may be perfect or good or whatever. Like, none of us are perfect, but the narcissist, in the narcissist's mind, we are perfect, right? The narcissist secretly thinks that everybody is better than them, and so the narcissist goes above and beyond to prove that you're not better than them, because they need to uphold this false reality that you're nothing. You're like a pet, you're like a toy, or some type of tool, just a tool that they use, or one of the chips on the checkerboard for them, right? You don't have any actual value, though secretly they do know you do. But the goal is to always prove something about you that is of no value, to chop you down behind your back. Because why else would the narcissist create this kind of confusion? The narcissist is deceitful. I had an instance where someone who was supposed to be my best friend for many, many years, and we had deep conversations. I mean, conversations that nothing I thought was being left out. And I would find out later on that behind my back, this person was telling another person the total opposite of what she was telling me. So whereas she was telling me I was a good parent, I do so well for someone who didn't have parents and all these different things. But I'm going to tell you, for a while, I started to think that she was phony, because even the thing about best friends or being close with someone is they should be able to tell you things about you that are not so great. And that's a perfect sign that this person may be creating chaos behind your back. If a person can't tell you, something about you that may not be great, something that you may need to work on, if they can't tell you this in a constructive way, like give you constructive criticism, it's quite possible that they're deceiving you, because none of us are perfect. They're being deceptive. Now, in the situation with the neighbor, obviously that relationship is not bound by anything. It's not a tight, strong relationship. We just live next door to one another, or I live on top, or she lives above me. And so any disturbances that we have because of our lifestyles inside of the units, I don't think it would be something that would make or break a relationship, because we really don't have a relationship. But however, when you live in a dwelling together with people, you want to be considerate of one another. And so I'm one of those people that I'm considerate, right? And this person knows that because we've talked. So this person knows that they didn't have to go like behind someone else's back and say something about my shoes, particularly when I don't wear shoes in the house because of spiritual reasons. And so whether this person blatantly lied or it was a day when I actually walked to the back and my shoes are on a one-off, is to be discovered. I really don't know. But the point is, narcissists are deceitful and they love to keep chaos going. They keep chaos going and you don't even know that it's happening. At some point it will come to a head though, and the goal is to make sure that that chaos doesn't come to a head in a way that it really, really hurts you or destroys you, or you end up not getting a position or reaching a goal or accomplishing something that you were trying to accomplish, because narcissists do this behind your back. Right? I had another friend, and it's crazy how I started to find out that I had all of these narcissistic friends. Like, this is a pattern that I was repeating, and I had to meet a greater narcissist to finally wake all the way up. And I believe that now at this point I'm fully woke and I have a lot of information that I can share. At this point I'm an authority in dealing with narcissists, because I've dealt with the lower level, the mid-level, and the greater narcissists. And what I can say about every last one of them is that they thrive in chaos, and they will use you to be the subject of that chaos. They will tell you that they like you, that they admire some skills of yours or some parts of your character. But the truth of how they feel about you will come out through another person. And it'll just be a matter of time where you'll be able to put these pieces of this triangle together to find out that you've been suckered. Right? That you've been a sucker. Because first of all, we can't be perfect. Someone has to disagree with us, right? They shouldn't be disagreeing with us all the time, but in an authentic, truthful relationship, a person is going to disagree with you. Now, I know now that I am a super empath. I know now that I'm empathetic. I understand now that I illuminate a certain kind of light. So if I'm surrounded by narcissists, that light is threatening. And this is something that you have to understand. Your light is threatening. So these people are not necessarily going to come out and tell you what they really feel about you. Now, in love relationships, when they start to devalue you, they will say things to you. And that's another video. I talk about that in one of my other videos. I won't talk about that in this video. But it's important to know that when you have someone in front of you who's always bigging you up, who's always, complimenting you, telling you, oh, you're great. I had one call me. I'll talk about that in another video. But when they over compliment you, usually these are the people that you have to watch out for, because these are the people that are behind your back saying something totally different. Like, I don't like the way she thinks. I don't know who she thinks she is. I don't like the way she talks. Who is she to tell you that, right? Because these people operate in deceit. They're liars. So they don't want to be honest. They don't want to say to you, look, I don't like what you said to me the other day, or the way you said it, I took it wrong, right? Because in their minds, if they say that to you, they're less than you. If they let you know that something that you said or something that you did may have been offensive towards them, then a narcissistic mind who always wants to be above you and more than you and bigger than you is going to take that as them being less than you. So they're not going to tell you. Instead, they're going to go behind your back and tell your business, share your flaws, tell people things about you to smear your name. And then when you're together with these people and you don't know that this has been going on, they're cracking up inside. They're laughing because they have like this secret with this other person, right? And you're there, you're feeling all bright and light, you're feeling awesome. But you don't know that between these two people, they were talking about a day when you couldn't pay a bill, right? They have their own secrets between one another. And it's possible that you and the narcissist have secrets between you guys that they told you about the other person, and the other person doesn't know, because this is how they operate. This is where they get their energy, from deceiving people, from triangulating people, and having people believe one thing when there's something totally different going on. The narcissists always have to have one up on you because they're cowards. They're really, really weak, because people who have character, people who have true, authentic character and courage and light can tell you to your face how they feel. They can be honest with you because they're not doing it from a vindictive place. They're looking for clarity. And when you're looking for clarity, you want to try to sort out the things that are not working. You want to try to figure out, hey, could I make things better? Well, hey, listen, when you talk to me this way, I didn't like it. I felt like it was a little bold. It was a little strong. It was unnecessary, because you want to give people the benefit of the doubt to be able to defend themselves. A person that doesn't want to give you the benefit of the doubt to be able to defend yourself is usually because they know that they're wrong. And they're just trying to assess you in a way to break you down, to break your character down, to fit their illusion that you're nothing anyway. Narcissistic people are the only people that want to be around people that they hate. They are the only people that want to be around people that they don't like, that they resent, because they thrive in chaos, and they spend every single day trying to hold themselves up above everyone else. This is their illusion. And in order to support that illusion and to keep that illusion strong, to keep themselves believing that they're someone that they're not. See, because narcissists don't work towards anything. They don't work towards character. They don't work to build spirit. They don't work to become better people. They're stuck in a perpetual state of nothingness, of emptiness, of void. And they fill that void with all the chaos that they can create in your life. The chaos that they can create between you and others. The chaos. They laugh out loud. They laugh inside. They are absolutely amused when you think that you have a bond with them and that they really appreciate you and value you. They are completely amused, because they are like, wow, I was right. This person is so stupid. I am so much smarter than them. I'm so much bigger and better than them. She's so dumb, right? This is how they think. And it's very hurtful when you realize it. And this is the truth. So anyone who's constantly bigging you up and praising you and never has a problem with you, I'd say check into them. It's quite possible that eventually, one thing about God, the universe will eventually reveal these things to you about these people. Because it started revealing these things to me, and I started realizing, I always knew that one of my so-called best friends was a super snake. I knew it, but I just didn't think that she would be a snake to me. And this is what we like to think, because empathetic people can sometimes be toxic themselves, and I will admit to some of my own toxicity, but during my spiritual cleansing, I started to realize my own sins and the different things that I did that made me susceptible to this type of manipulative, deceitful behavior, right? And so if you have a good friend, hold on to them, because it's hard to really build these trusting relationships, and especially if you're young. If you're young and you have friends that you are suspicious of, you're probably right, and you should look deeper into it, because as you get older, it becomes a little bit more difficult to forge these relationships, right? Because you're smarter, you're more intuitive, and so you're looking at things more, and so you're going to be a lot more careful, you're going to be a lot pickier, and you're just not going to easily make friends like when you're young and you're naive. So you don't have to be naive just because you're young. You could be smart and you can be intuitive. So I hope this video helped you and resonated with you, and let you know that you're not alone if you've been triangulated in this way. If you thought that it was one thing and it was something else, to know that there's nothing wrong with you, that there are people that actually do this. This is how they thrive. They want to keep you stuck in a certain place because they need to believe that you're stupid. They need to believe that you're unworthy, and eventually they're going to show you that they want you to be unworthy. They will start to escalate those deceptive actions. And so if you like this video, please prove it by pressing like, because when you like my video, you help my video move further up the algorithm. And if you think someone could learn something from this video, please share this video. And if you subscribe to my channel, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, please check out a few of my videos. I think you'd want to subscribe. And be sure to hit the bell notification so you could be notified when my next video comes up. And my short documentary is coming soon, where I tell the real, true life story, a street story, some of the things that happened to me in these horribly narcissistic relationships, surrounded by narcissistic friends in a completely narcissistic environment. Love and light.